Yes, Senator Okech, but Honorable Keynan, as you respond, how should the country deal with that issue? Because for real, people lost their lives in demonstrations, whether you agree with them or you don't, people lost lives.
I think there are two things that you need to separate. First of all, do we have a government, a duly elected government? The answer is yes. Do we have a duly elected president? The answer is yes. What we don't have is even in America, when Trump lost, he had to retreat, he disagreed. The law enforcement agencies actually have to take control in line with the constitutional provision, and ultimately, Trump had to resort to constitutional means to address the issues that they have had. In the Kenyan context, and it's not only Kenya, when this issue of Mandamando actually was conceived somewhere, it started in South Africa, Kenya, Senegal, and Tunisia at the same time, actually. Mm-hmm. We haven't had loss of properties or life in South Africa because people demonstrated peacefully. They confessed what they wanted to say. They presented the issues to the authorities, and that marked the end of it. The same happened in Tunisia. The same happened in Senegal. But in our Kenyan context, where innocent youth, unemployed youth, underemployed youth are being incited to violence, where they rob people, where they loot properties, where they destroy. What do you expect the law enforcement officers actually to do? It's not something that, actually, let's also be civil. The president is the president of the Republic of Kenya and the commander-in-chief. And therefore, the honors, he is the person entrusted by the Kenyan taxpayers, of the Kenyan voters, to manage the affairs of the Republic of Kenya. What the opposition is expected to do is to be loyal opposition. Loyal opposition, which means what? Loyal to the rule of law, to the constitution. The president is not an individual. The presidency is an institution. And for those of us who have participated zealously in the making of the current constitution, let's separate. If you are dealing with Ruto, the individual, the candidate, he is no longer Ruto, the individual. It is now His Excellency Ruto, the President and the Commander-in-Chief of the Republic of Kenya. And I think this is one thing that is missing from that. Just a minute. I think I gave you a lot of time.
Just very fast.
1 minute. 1 minute.
I want him to help me understand.
No, don't help me. Let me finish.
Senator, please. I allowed you.
I allowed you, bro.
Him to finish.
But when I understand what is going on in the mindset of this particular group, because I've been part of them. The issue has nothing to do with the welfare of the people of Kenya. This is consistent with what has been happening. The issue... let me explain this.
Move away from that
point. On the rule of law, sir.
Just hold on.
Bro, you say that. Allow me to say this.
Senator, please. Honorable Keynan, I'm asking you this specific question. What should happen to those people that lost their lives, whether it's from bullets from the police or the stones from the demonstrators?
I'm coming to that question. And certainly, I'll answer. We have been changing goalposts from one thing to that. And these things are consistent with the way things were. And the players are the same. 1992, 1997, 2002, 2007, 2013, 2017, 2022, 2023. The theme, the players have almost been the same. I'm sorry, maybe they're dealing with a different president. That's right now. They're unable to reconcile what they want and what is now practically available. What the president has said, and I don't speak for him, as a Kenyan, as a leader, what I have learned from his pronouncement is that he is willing to engage with any Kenyan, including the leadership of Azimio, as long as that discussion will add value to the well-being of the people of Kenya. Okay. The issue of power sharing is what he has completely said. If that is the agenda, it should not come. But I think come back to this. Let's agree this. There's been a discussion. I'm glad that my friends who have called for Mandamando, which has led to the loss of lives of innocent people. I think the person who called the Mandamando or the individual who called should be held accountable. Okay. Those who incited, because I say this, criminal responsibility is individual. Right. Who has incited those innocent individuals? Who has incited those innocent individuals to go and loot?
It's a very simple.
To go and touch properties. To go and engage Scotch Earth policy. Because what we have seen was not Mandamando. But let me conclude this by saying, let's accept. Because I think I can see my friends are struggling to know the depth of what was discussed. We may not know exactly what was discussed.
All right.
I think that we must accept that. Let's accept that there is a momentum for bipartisan. Let's accept this, that there's a momentum. I'm concluding. There's a momentum for bipartisan approach, and I'm glad that both players are now, groups are accepting this. Let's give it a chance. As long as that will add value to the well-being of the people of Kenya, we will all support it.
I know you want to ask something here, but we are on national TV, and there's something here he has talked about that I want you just to put it on record.
Right.
The issue of rule of law.